Okay, so I'm back. I don't have the timing down yet, obviously. So I was saying that I've got so much to say, and at this point, I've made the conscious decision to move forward with this and be consistent in giving you my thoughts and kind of where I'm at. I chose to commit to making different videos for different topics and stuff like that. There's so much within me, my heart, my soul, my mind, from my past and along this journey, all pointing to our future, that I really, really want to share with you. We're all taking this journey together, in this life, living, learning. There's one thing that's more than true, though. There is this consciousness that we all have to tap into. Maybe you have no desire to, or maybe there's a piece of you that does want to. Go ahead and explore just different ways of thinking, because what is being fed to us and what's been fed to us our whole entire lives, that's like 1 or 2%, or maybe 5% of everything that's out there. I don't even think that our minds are able to comprehend everything that's in our world, outside of our world. It's very, very, very dynamic. So while we have the time to sit with our internet, or we've got the freedom to travel around the world and learn different things, go ahead and do that right now. We have to think, we have to talk, and we have to have that desire in us to learn more. I really didn't expect me to be here talking about all of this. But this is really just where it's led me. The moment that I began this process and how I am at where I am now, this whole process of relinquishing all of my fears about all of this was a very, very specific moment. And I'll share that with you. I randomly opened the Bible to a random page, and the very first thing that my eyes laid eyes on, the very first thing that I laid eyes on were the words, "Do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, the Father is not in them. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God will live forever." That's quite intense. And that's really, honestly, the answer to what I was feeling so hopeless about and so nervous about, unable to get sleep over. But quite honestly, my very first thought was, wow, that's heavy. Okay, all right. Second thought, what? I don't know how much sense that makes. God, you created the world. You created the earth. You created everything in it, including myself, you, the animals, the stars, everything, the planets. He created all of this. So for him to say, don't love the world, I kind of had to marinate on that concept. I was wondering, how could I not love the world? But as I thought about it, I realized, because this is all that we know. The earth and all the things in it, that's all we've ever known. These same days we've woken up to and lived all of our lives is what is. This is our perception. This is our life. This is what we know. But it is what's now, and soon will be what has been. environmentally, politically, spatially / universally. No one, even those of us that know pieces as fact, really have no idea the severity and the intensiveness. Intensiveness? Intensiveness. I make up my words all the time. Oh, the intensity. What? We really have no idea the severity or intensity of what is to come in our future. The massive, powerful earthquakes worldwide, volcanoes that haven't erupted in hundreds of millions of years have already begun to awaken. A lot of those are happening in the United States, in California. This is close to home, guys. There's no reason that we shouldn't be paying attention to this. Earthquakes, at least 60 earthquakes a day. I'll get into that later. But, there's just so much. What's really crazy, there's also an asteroid that's approaching the Earth. And the government doesn't want to talk about it. Nobody really wants to talk about it. But the people that do know this information, they have slipped under the cracks, I guess, and got the information out to people. This is really happening. There is a huge asteroid that's approaching the Earth. The devastation of this will be more devastating than we have ever seen or even have the capacity to imagine. Humanity is going to be faced with a situation, a few different situations that are going to be unlike anything else that we've ever even had to think about experiencing. Trust me, you guys, the governments, different governments worldwide, on every continent, are already preparing. FEMA has just purchased millions of body bags specific to water destruction and have been requesting massive amounts of disaster supplies to sustain the people that are left, pretty much. World War III is right around the corner. Christianity versus Islam. There is also an element of something that is here and not seen. The government is never, ever, ever going to tell us what's really going on. They wouldn't dare come out and tell us the complete truth. Don't think for a day that you can turn on the news one day and you're going to be fed the 100% truth. It ain't going to happen. That's really the true honesty of it. Even more so while all this is happening. So during this whole time of chaos and craziness, that's when they're going to be lying to us the most. They're going to try to feed you the most logical explanations and stuff like that. But what I found is that they will lie, and this is how government works, at least in America, sadly. I love America. I love the US. I love being, an American girl. I love living in California. As much as I love it, I'm also aware, and I do research. I'm such a nerd. I know that I am. I listen to talk radio. What young girl listens to talk radio? I've been listening to talk radio since high school for at least 10 years now. Because, I don't always agree with what they say, but it's also, my mom always taught me, you have to know, even if you don't agree, you have to know what your opponents are thinking. You have to know what's being said, at least, so that you're able to make informed decisions, which is, I think, some of the best advice that I ever got. It's partly led me here, although she thinks I'm crazy. We got into an argument way back a couple weeks ago. And she said to me, at least I'm not trying to warn the people of what? She said, at least I'm not the one trying to warn people about the end of the world. I couldn't believe it. My feelings were hurt. Because trust me, I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to know all of this. There's no way that I want any of this to be true. The fabric of my soul, not one thread of this. Not one thread of me, of who I am, of what I want, desires all of what I'm saying and what I feel to come true. I don't want any of that to come true. But if it does, if this is what we're facing, that's partly why I feel the need to, open up and show parts of myself that I've never showed other people or even myself. Because God made us all for a reason. And I've been touched by people that have no idea that they have touched me. By the simplest, smallest things, a few words or an action. Someone's perspective, kind of turned a switch on for me. And they really have no idea how that's affected me. So I feel like the point of our existence is to share with one another and to learn and to get better. And so that's pretty much why I feel the need to stay committed to this and continue to share with you my experience and my life and my perspective. And any research that I do or find out, I will be honest and completely honest and open. Okay, so those are some of the topics I will be talking about in my other videos. I'll go into way more detail, specific numbers. I'll give you the sources so that you can do your own search if you have the need. I always recommend when you learn something, find out where the source is so that you can gain your own perspective. You don't just eat what they're feeding you. So I'll give you, everything will be clear, transparent as day. So, all right, I'm off. Thanks for listening. Bye, YouTube. Oh no, I think it's frozen. Hey, my computer's frozen. Oh my gosh. Okay, bye. What a mess.